was a letter that was released by the MK political party. This letter, it talks about white people, and in today's episode I thought, you know what, I find this very interesting. So you know what, I was like, okay, since I found this very interesting, I thought you need to know this thing, right? With that being said, I know I'm a little bit late, but I think the letter is still relevant. The letter says media statement, and then they say date 6 April 2024. Then the heading says the arrival of Jan van Riebeck in South Africa and the subsequent socio-economic turmoil. Oh, my God. It's English at the end of the day. English never left us. So, Jacob Zuma has been clear on the matter when he sat in Parliament as a president. Even when he was the member of the ANC, president thereon, even when he was in Parliament, he has been clear about the issue of the land. He has never deviated. It's just that, if you remember vividly, there are videos that are on SABC 1 that you look where you will hear Jacob Zuma being pretty much clear on the matter to say, we need the land. But again, also let me remind you, on the far hand, there were people in the ANC that says, nope, the land belongs to everybody the land belongs to everybody who is in South Africa. But we know from then that the land is in minority. That is the context in which Jacob Zuma was coming from. Now, so that therefore speaks directly into the white supremacy. It also speaks to two types of political parties that are preserving the white supremacy in South Africa, which is the FF Plus and the EDA. Right. But before I proceed with this video anywhere further, I put it to you that you do the following. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the Super Thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying, will bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Okay, so let's proceed then. This says today, that was on the 6th of April. It says today marks 372 years since the arrival of Jan van Riebeck in 1652, not 1652. They then continue to say, an event that heralded an era of profound suffering and disposition for South African indigenous people. This sudden moment initiated the systematic degradation of the dignity, land, and the wealth of our ancestors, establishing a legacy of inequality, injustice that lingers to this day. The era witnessed horrific acts of violence, including mass murder, slavery, and rape, marking the beginning of the prolonged struggle for the indigenous people. Then they continue to say, the subsequent Act of Union in 1910, a part between Afrikaners and British colonizers, which included the indigenous black and further extrenched the exclusion of the black black majority from the socio-economic political fabric of their own country. This act systematically marginalized our kings and chiefs, stripping them of their authority and dignity. It is disheartening to observe the echoes of an exclusion in contemporary times, notably in the attempt by the Ramaphosa ANC. It is relentless, yet dismal attempt to disband MK Party so that, as the Afrikaners and the Boers did, sidelines the voices of the indigenous majority in running of their own country of birth. So I think at this particular moment you can see where we're going with this, right? EMK, yeah, they are leaving no stone unturned. They are like Wozan Sanfuna, Wozani La. That is MK. It is worth noticing, it is worth nothing that our current constitution mirrors the 1910 Act of Union, perpetuating the marginalization of the indigenous population while ensuring the prosperity of the colonial signatories. Hence, MK Party's determination to amend it. The MK Party reflect on the catastrophic, what's that word? I can't even see that word clearly. Even at the 1652, not merely as a historical recount, but as a dire reminder of the need for restitution and systematic reform in our present and the future. The legacy of Van Riebeck, characterized by greedy violence and theft, inflicted deep wounds on our national consciousness and hindered our socio-economic progress. That is what EMK has got to say. But yeah, this news does not end there. We need to look into we need to look deep into this and understand where they're coming from and also where they're going with this thing, right? You will remember that MK has been vocal about the fact that we need to change the constitution. You know what I'm saying? They've been vocal about that. But yeah, let's proceed. Regrettably, effort to dismantle this legacy has been largely abandoned by the ANC of Ramaphosa, which continues happily to maintain the status quo, where a land wealth remain concentrated in the hands of few. This neglect has exacerbated the socio-economic disparities, leaving the rightful land owners landless and impoverished, deepening the individual within our society. Deepening the divisions within our society. As we approach 2024 elections, the MK Party is MK Party is resolute in its mission to redress this historical injustice. We advocate for a decisive two-thirds majority to allow us to amend the constitution, aiming to reclaim the land and its resources for their rightful owners, restore dignity to our people and their leaders, and foster a social grounded in justice and equality. We further commit to overhaul our current economic governance and social framework, which still favors the signatories which still favors the signatories at the expense of the indigenous people, to reflect values of fairness, inclusive, and respect for our rich cultural heritage, prioritizing the needs of the disfranchised. Okay, yeah. All right. At the end now, as we reach the end of the letter, by casting your vote for MK Party with two-thirds majority in the upcoming elections, you are championing a movement for lasting change. Together, we can heal the wounds of our past, build more adequate future, reclaim the essence of Ubuntu that defines us. Join us in transforming our beloved country into a land of hope, dignity, and equality for all. That is what MK has got to say. Now, MK political party has spoken. I'm interested to hear what's your thought about the promise. Also, just to remind you that we are here because of Jan van Riebeck. Now, this will then pose a lot of questions in our minds concerning these people who are so arrogant. You know what I'm saying? You know them. You know who are they? They are so arrogant, and the financial segregation that people continue to suffer. Like there are companies, guys, that talking about the legacy of the apartheid legacy. There are companies in this country that you will never get a job. You never get a job, guys, in certain companies to a certain position. I used to work in one of the companies where you couldn't get a job. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't get a position or you couldn't get promoted to certain position simply because you. What's that? What is that right word? You are not white, and you were told that you're never going to occupy this position. They will occupy that position, but not you. Why? Because of the color of your skin, right? Are you white? No, you're black. So you're not gonna occupy that position. So I'm saying, to those that think that the racism has ended, you must think twice. You must go to Free State. You must go to Mpumalanga, the part of MLO, Piet Retief, and just look at people, the conditions that people are living in, and then you'll come back and have a discussion whether racism has ended. I'm talking about the physical racism. Just go to the places that I've named. Free State is one of them, and Mpumalanga, particularly the part of Betal, ML, or Piet Retief, those three. Just go there if you have time, and sit there and tell me what you think. Just observe the lifestyle that these people are subjected to, and tell me if it is in accordance to the newly developed South Africa. There's no such. Racism still prevail. But then there's this racism that is happening. I'll give an example about it. To those that are living in Cape Town, they know about this. There is a place in Cape Town where, do you know that it's very difficult for people in Cape Town, if you're a black person, to find an accommodation that side. I have a friend of mine who once got a job that took him to Cape Town, right? He gets to Cape Town, he's looking for an apartment. Because he's black, he couldn't find an apartment. So it's not about whether or not you qualify. It's about the color of your skin. There was another interview that I once watched where this lady was talking about the fact that this is how these people protect the land. If you are white, they will give you the right to buy land in certain areas. But if you are black, even if you've got 20 million and the building or the apartment or whatever property that you want to buy, it costs 1 million. They will never sell to you because you are black. So there is a place in Cape Town where racism still prevail even up to date. That is why they love Cape Town, because that's where they feel free to express themselves. And I'm sure you know who I'm talking about. That is why they love so much Cape Town, because it's their place to express their racism. Then there's another one called financial segregation, where they make sure that their white counterpart earns more than black counterpart. I don't know if you know, if you understand what I'm saying. If you are black, you will earn less in a very same position. And then we ask, in my company, we ask why. Guess the justification. We were told, you guys are living in a cheap environment, number one. Number two, you guys don't have the chemicals that we use to maintain our skin, as if that's our problem. That's not our problem. If they can't live somewhere in deep cliffs, so it's not our problem. If they can't live somewhere in Katlehong, it's not our problem. But they are saying because they are white, they need to maintain even where they stay. Hence, they need to earn more. I'm saying there's that type of financial segregation where there are positions Like I once told a story at Vodacom. There's this guy. He doesn't even have all the qualification, but he's working at Vodacom, supplying them with certain crucial something. Right? He even his son and he only had matric. But I was busy supplying Vodacom, or they were busy working at Vodacom doing something serious, something that other people have gone to school to study IT for more than 6 years. But they were not even given that part. It was given to a person who doesn't even have matric. Why? Because of the color of their skin. Financial segregation, right? There are things in South Africa. I'm talking from experience. There are things in South Africa where if you want just an apartment, you can't get an apartment to certain areas. Even here in Joburg, you can't get an apartment to certain areas. Why? Because you are black. The color of your skin does not allow you to get such an access. So I'm saying we can't just overrule this idea of racism. It exists even up to today.